I said, my mind was, when I was walking down there, I said, man, they already found out about this and this and this. They're probably going to give me 1,000 years, Yes. Yeah. I was always, thinking about the opposite. I said, they're going to give me at least 1,000 years. I mean, to get out in 1,000 years, I'm going to be very old to get out. I was thinking about that. So I'm walking thinking this. And then he tells me, I gave you a wrong sentence. I said, here it comes. Says, if you remove your appeal, a motion for appeal, we can work it out. I'll give you 10 years. And I don't want you here. I want you to go and don't start problems in the jail and this and that. And I look at him and said, if I remove the motion for appeal, you do that. I said, as soon as you say yes, you sign the papers, we'll work it out. I'll give you 10 years. That's it. You go and do your time, and that's it. I don't want to see you. Say, okay, let's do it. Okay, you sign these papers and this and that. So I did. So I removed my motion for appeal. He removed the sentence, and he gave me 10 years. So I went to prison. Next day, I was put in a chain gang and went to prison for 10 years, and I stayed there 4 years and a half. And I got out. First miracle that the Lord did using me was with a man that had a 4 inches on a lake. He had a 4 inches shoulder. So the Lord told me to pray for him. And I would just put my hand on his leg, and I said, Lord, do it. You do it. And that leg grew up. It grew the 4 inches. So it was the first miracle that God created, and they took me to see the to see the warden, because they didn't want that commotion in there.
So you're saying there was a guy in there who had one leg 4 inches shorter than the other, and the Lord grew out that leg 4 inches.
Exactly, that's what That's what happened. It was the first one. So witchcraft, spells, and all that went away. Now people are looking for me to pray for them. Okay, when I went to prison, I saw a guy that he was in jail, the one that was making the copy. He stayed behind. So when I saw him coming back to the prison, I saw him, and I was anxious to see someone to come so I can ask him. And when he came, I said, "Hey, what happened to James?" You know. So he told me, he said, "The day you came out in the chain, the day they came for him, they asked him for to a pardon because he was being charged of something he didn't do, nothing like that. That's why, yes, that's why he told me the Lord put him there. They charged him with a rape, but he didn't do it. So they just put him in jail, and they put him in my cell. But all happened because God wanted that way, and that's why I'm here, preaching the word and trying to tell everyone that I can see people that they're practicing witchcraft, even when they call the psychics and all that. If they have something, there's a light that come out from the body, and that light tells you who you are. And that light comes out. Even from a Christian, we have a light. Jesus said, "We are the light of the world," and the ones they know that we have the power, they can see that light on us, and they fear because we have the power of Jesus. Amen. So I got out from prison, and I was happy, and I wasn't so happy because I made a lot of friends, guards, and all that. I pray for them. Broken marriages, they came back together. Miracles, families coming back to the ones that were locked up. Uh, I lead, I lead about, let's talk about 1,000 people to Christ in there in the 4 years and a half that I was there. So I was doing my job. I liked it, and I'm still doing it. I got out and I went to a little church down in Pearland, and I saw a lot of commotion, and I didn't like it. So I went back. I hated it. They were, mocking me and this and that. And I'm talking about Christians, okay? I'm not talking about the ones in the world. I can take anything from them because they don't know the truth. But I'm talking about the ones that say that they know Jesus. They were doing a lot of things to me and this and that. So I went back and I told the Lord, you know what? I'm gonna fight it. You call me and look at the place you put me in. Look at what's happening. I was just a baby. I didn't had no one to show me the way, the real truth.
Okay, so you're a baby in the Lord right now, and what had happened, this is what happens with a lot of Christians. You got angry with the Lord because of what had happened to you. Is that right?
Yeah, I blame the Lord. And well, I repent from that. But I did. I went back. I went back to the world for 3 months. But I told the Lord, if you really want me, you're gonna bring me back. And I said, but I'm gonna fight you with everything that I have. So I still have some friends, that I helped when I was back in the world. And I went to see one of my friends that I helped him build a build, business. So I said, I'm gonna go see him and I'm gonna ask him for some money, and I'm gonna start, my business and make some money here and there. You see what happened when I came to the Lord? I tried to use the money that I had. I said, I'm gonna build the greatest temple. I'm gonna have buildings. I'm gonna have a church. I'm gonna have a big church, and I'm gonna have houses, around the church for the people they need help and this and that. Because I had the money to do it. So when I went back to my house, and I had a safe in my house and down in Mexico, and and I opened my strong box. And when I start getting the money out, they were burning my hand. Burning, I mean bad. I mean making those big blisters like that. And I touched the money, the money that I had in the safe. When I touched it, as soon as put it in my hand, it's like getting a piece of charcoal, red hot, burned my hand. And that's the first time that I know that God spoke to me and said, "You're not gonna build me nothing with blood money." So, yes, the money that I make, with witchcraft and all that. So God told me not to use that money. He said, "I don't want not even your clothes. I don't want your jewelry. I don't want your house. I don't want your cars. I don't want nothing. I want you to serve me as you are right now." So I had a pair of tennis, blue jeans, and a t-shirt. So I said, "I'm gonna leave all this. I can use it. I can do this." I said, "No, you're not using that money. You ain't gonna build me nothing like that with that money." You see, that's one of the things that I don't understand. I hear a lot of testimonies of people, they used to say, serve Satan, doing this and doing that, and they still live in the same house, and they're using that money to preach the word. I believe that God doesn't let you do that. We can remember the time that they lost the battle when Joshua, and Joshua went to the floor and started praying to the Lord and said, "What happened?" And he told him, "What are you doing down there? You know that somebody here is I don't know what to say it is a curse because they stole some things from the Babylonians and this and that." God doesn't like that. I didn't knew that before, but now I know it. Now I understand why he told me that. So I know there's a lot of demon possessed people, preaching the word, using the blood money, and So well, we're praying for them. So I went back and I went to see that friend, and I talked to him. He was happy to see me and all that. And I asked him. I said, "You know what? Can I borrow some money from you?" He said, "Oh, you don't have to borrow money from me. I can give it to you." I said, "Well," they said, "How much you need?" I said, "I need $50,000." Oh, that's easy, man. I'll give you that money. Said, let me call the banker so I can get you the money. So they gave him some applications and this and that. And I said, let's fill them up. And say, oh, come up tomorrow at 10, in the morning. I'll give you the money. He said, okay, we'll be there. He says, it's done. I said, all right, I got the money, I start business. So I went to see a building and started asking how much they rented and this and that. So I started making plans what I was going to do. So what I was trying to do is get, Red X movies. And I said, well, I'm going to put them there, because I was in that, involved in that, including that, making, Red X movies. So what I did, I was happy, because I was gonna do that. So I went to sleep that night. I got up early, get ready to go to the bank. So I went to see my friend. He was there. I said, "Come on, man, let's go." I said, "Hey, I want to talk to you." I said, "What's happening?" I said, "Come on, let's go to the office." And I saw him. He was, like he didn't have that good sleep and all that. I said, "What's going on?" I said, "I need to talk to you." I said, "I gotta ask you something." I said, "Okay." So I said, get yourself something, to drink. I said, okay. So he was like little shaking like that, and I look at him. I said, what's happening? I said, you know what? Last night that I went to sleep, I had a dream. Oh yeah? And what do you want? I said, I want to tell you the dream so you can tell me what the meaning is. He told me that he had a dream that a big angel came into his room, and he took him, in his hand. And he was talking to the angel. I said, hey, what's this? Am I dead or what? I said, no. I, so what's happening? I said, oh, I gotta show you a place. So the angel was flying, and this guy is there, holding one finger, I think, or something like that. So the angel is flying, is getting through like a dark cave or something like that. So they go in, and this guy, a friend of mine, he says that he hears, like crying and things like that. People, when they're being tortured. So what happened? He saw this, and he hear this, and all of a sudden he woke up, and he told me he was wet. I mean, soaked. I mean, he sweated a lot. So he was scared, and got up real fast. And when he went to the bathroom, to put some water in his face and all that. So he ran to the bar in his house and got another drink, put some milk and brandy on it and drink it, and he went back to the room and waited for a little while. Said, oh, it was just a nightmare. So he went back to sleep. So what happened? He had the same dream again. Exactly the same. He had the same words and all that, same place, and all of a sudden. But this time he gets to see a big lake of fire, and he wakes up. And the same thing. He goes back to the bathroom and all that, and this time gets, instead of milk, he puts just brandy on it and drinks it and go back to to the room, and he doesn't want to wake his wife up. He's thinking about it. Is calm. He said, oh, okay, well. He goes back to sleep, and the angel comes again, a third time. So he goes, and this time he doesn't wake. He goes all the way until he feels the real, the fire, the hot, there's very hot. So he's there, and he's asking the angel, are you going to put me here or what, And the angel answers, says, look at this. This is the place you're going to come if you give Carlos those $50,000. I said, what? But why? I said, don't you help that guy. Don't help him. Don't do nothing for him if you don't want to come to this place. So he woke up again, and he said that he woke up and he heard the door, slam like that something was in there. So he got up, and he was all sweaty, scared, and that's the way I found him in the office.